this is where we were on last night's video. Did you leave a comment on last night's video on, I forget what I asked, but that was only actually earlier today. But this is where I'm at now. I've got a lot of the stuff cleaned out of here, the brush cleaned out of there. I've got a lot of stuff cleaned over here. I've been cleaning on that stuff for, an hour or so. I got the mill set up ready to go, so we'll take you along for some of the stuff what I've found. Now after about an hour of wire brushing, and we'll start with the bad ones and why I'm not using these. This one's not too bad, okay, and I might use it, not sure, but kind of don't think so. But this one here, somebody, I don't know whether this shows up on the camera. See this edge here? Somebody has rounded these off. Now I can take a file and file those off, and I'm sure that it'll be perfectly fine. Nice point, no, not too screwed up that way. This one also is rounded off, so if I got a choice of all these, I'm not going to mess with them. This one here is really rounded off. If you're putting that kind of pressure on those, or maybe just using the wrong size wrench, I don't know. Then when I mic these, I don't know if you can see the mic, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. So they're probably done on a 3-jaw chuck, is about what I'm guessing. That's 65, 64, 80, 64. So I'm sure they were done probably on a 3-jaw chuck. Now on the lock nuts, this one's just got, I'm sure that's probably a machining scar on it there. But there's no point in doing that. This one here is not too bad. It's got some machining. They needed to sharpen their bit a little bit. This one here, once again, it's got that. This is the one that was that I made the nut on. Look how much slop is on it. That was just something that I made from what they had. There was so much slop on it, I didn't really care for that. Plus the top, you can see how bad that is. Now, the points of these, here's one with a real good point up here, because that goes into a point inside that casting. Not too much in the way of that. But this one here, let's see, this one here has no, see how there's a relief cut around here, so it just hits there. This one has no relief cut, so when you go putting that in, it's going to gall on these outside edges, so I don't need that. These over here are the ones that I've decided that I'm going to use, unless I look at them a little later and decide I don't want to. That's one mic's a little fat. This one here, the point's not real good, so I'm going to have to eyeball. I might use one of those and clean it up. This one, the point's real nice. This one here, the point's real nice. This one here, the point's real nice. This one here is a little dull, so I might switch it off for one of those and just take a file and touch up. This one here's got a pretty good point. Might just touch up a little bit of that so it looks a little bit cleaner. I haven't decided on that yet. I've got the drills now set up to drill these. I'll show you how I drill these. I got it set up on the DRO. If you just take one of these and oh, I already got one in there. So I have my, I kind of can't remember where it goes what and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get you in here where it's not so glary for a second. I need to put the DRO on minus that. That's going to be there, here. In other words, from here to here is 101. This is 101, and that's my 0 point. So I do that so I know where I want to drill it. So right now I'm on 8363. So I'm 8361 and a 101. For this, it's just screwing into a board. It really doesn't make any difference. So it doesn't have to be, dead not on. And this goes into 10,000ths of an inch, okay? 10,000ths of an inch. So keep that in mind too on those numbers. But I can just sit there and kind of drill right along, I think. I guess you can get there. I got to get my googles on. So I'm on the 383 and the 101. So I just zap. Now I got to take this, if you can see it, back to 0. That keeps you from having to measure every one. Whoops. And like I said, that's 10,000ths of an inch, so that's plenty close enough. And now I got to take the other back to 0. Yeah, wrong way, Jose. Whoops, too far. Now I got to roll this one to 383 because I didn't drill this back one up here. So if I go to up here, if you can see it, I'm not sure exactly what you're seeing in there. Whoops, 3. I want to go to 383. 3863. 38. That's close enough. That should have me pretty close to these other ones. Like I said, we're just making this is nothing that has to be great precision here. They might I did something wrong. Look at that one. It ain't gonna make any difference though. That's what happens when you're trying to play with the camera. I did a couple of them a couple of them right. That one's off. I did something off, but like I said, these are just going in there, and this will be welded onto here. So as long, it's probably better off having them offset anyway. And I was thinking about doing that, but I didn't do that just then for that. But I can still get the screws in there. The reason I want to drill through from this side is because it's easier to knock this little burr off than try to get down there and knock that burr off there. So I'm going to sit here and make all those. I got a lot to make, and hopefully I'll do a little bit better than that. And then I'll start welding those on. Rain's coming in tonight, so I got to get ready for rain. I have some people coming over for, I'm looking at solar maybe as a source of electricity here to several reasons. I don't, I guess I'll put you here and zero you up on that. I think if I come up this way, I know I got to have my head below that light up there. I'll be directly in front of that light. Now, I'm kind of interested in solar. Been kind of playing with it, or looking into it a little bit. I don't know really hardly anything about it. I know that the people for solar call you 3 or 4 times a week at least, maybe every day, I don't know, quite a bit. And they all want to sell you what they want to sell you. But what they want to sell you, it's like if you went into a car dealership and you see this $50,000 car. I mean, the first estimate on solar was $65,000, and that's stupid money. And for $65,000, okay, I want what I want. I don't want what you're selling. I don't want what you think I need. I want it to fit my needs. And a lot of people get that, might be a little naive on what they're getting. My electric bill is only $130 a month. Okay, that's a high bill. The wife just pulled one out. The current bill, and I think she said it was $109. Okay, so at $109, let's just figure $150 because maybe in the summer it goes up a little bit. And we've had bills as low as like really low. And it just depends. In the fall, it's not as bad. I'm not running the boiler. We're not running the air conditioner. The lights aren't quite as long. So in the spring and the fall, it gets generally below $100 a month. So it's pretty good. Then in the summertime, when the air conditioner comes on, it goes up. I think on a peak hot summer month, we might go $150. That's pushing it a little bit. In the wintertime, we're heating with the the boiler. If we're not heating with a boiler, we're using fuel oil, so there's no electricity demand there. My big concern is, though, with solar, they sell you, they come out and they put the panels on the roof, which we don't want panels on. We have a brand new, some kind of fancy shingles on this, architectural something shingles on this house. I don't want them drilling holes. You know, you put shingles on the house to keep holes from going in there. They're going to bang nails into. I keep doing that. I know what I did now. I pushed that up and fell off. So there's a freestanding place out there. Now, right off the bat, you got to figure they're selling you 75% more panels than you need. Okay, and here's why I figure that. They can't go but over 10% over your electric bill, or the electric company will just say, hey, you're selling too much back. You're not a producer. Boom, boom, boom. That's kind of how it appears to be here. Nobody knows exactly what's going on. There's government kickbacks, you know, like 30%. Okay, so 60,000, 30% back off your tax things. But what that amounts to, from the best where I can figure out now, is okay, if I pay $2,000 taxes and I'm going to get $18,000 credit back, I got 5 years to get it. After 5 years, you're SOL. So if I only have a $2,000 a year tax, I don't know what my tax bill is. I got no idea. We just take it to H&R Block and they do it. But if you don't have that, you're not going to get any of that money back. Okay, that's just smoke and mirrors, guys. That's just smoke and mirrors. Okay, then what protection do you have if you got solar? Okay. Now, a lot of people are under the assumption that if you have solar, you're never going to run out of electricity, even when the power goes out, and that's not true. You got to have batteries. A couple batteries are going to cost you $20,000, but once again, they show you, well, you get this back on this one, this back on this one, so you get the 2 batteries for around $11,000. Well, basically, the government is buying your solar system. So, seeing as the government's buying your solar system, they're overpricing the price of the solar system. Everybody knows the government pays too much for everything. So these solar companies are overcharging the crap out of everybody. Oh, because you're going to get this back, and you're going to get this back, you're going to get this back. And before I start getting into something like that, I got to have a little bit more insurance than, yeah, you're going to get this back, other than some guy that's trying to sell me something, tell me I'm going to get it back. I said, you know, I ain't jumping into that kind of bill. Now, as far as saving the atmosphere because I'm running solar, ain't never going to happen, guys. What it takes to dig up the stuff to go into that solar system and to go into those batteries is way out what that system's going to use in a lifetime, from the latest that I heard and know and looking into. In other words, and then it's all supplied by every place but the United States, just about. So I'm looking into it. Okay, so I'm looking into reducing my panel size by 75%. So instead of going from 24 panels, what they want to sell me, which will give me 10% over my usage, because you've got to overdo your usage to sell it back to the Potomac Edison, because 75% of the time you're going to be using off the grid. You're not going to be using off of the solar panels. You might be running off the solar panels in a nice bright day, but you only have a 6-hour period that you're getting max sun, so there's only a 6-hour period you're getting what they actually are going to produce. So yeah, they sold, most of the panels now are doing 405 watts. Okay, and I don't know what the amps is, or volts. I'm thinking the volts is around 40. I'm not sure. The guys that are selling it really don't know. You know, to be honest with you, they're just selling it, and a company comes out and puts them in, or what. I don't even know what it is. There's just so many out there, and there's so many crazy people. The first people we looked at, like I said, they were talking $65,000. So anyhow, I'm rambling on here. So that guy's supposed to be out any minute now, so I'm going to wrap this video up and see if he actually does show back up. One of the other companies I got to were a lot better. I like him to come out. First thing, the only one guy has come out and here's my business card. This is who you're dealing with. Boom, boom, boom. Which I like that. Nobody else has done that. They all fly by night, you know. They all, like I said, flim flam, smoke and mirrors, or I don't know. Anyhow, so I'm going to get working on this until he gets in here, and this is where we're at. This is just an update on what I'm doing. Same day as last night's video, just supposed to rain tonight. Anyhow, that's what I'm working on. We'll talk to you later, guys. Bye-bye. Oh, you know something? Before I go, this would be a good question to ask you guys. What do you know about solar? What do you think about solar? Just input in solar. How many of you people out there have solar? And was it smoke and whistle? So if there's anybody out there that has solar on their house that's watching this, leave me a comment and tell me how you like about it, plus or minus and stuff like that. If you don't have solar, maybe you don't have it because you haven't thought about it enough. Give me some of your thoughts on solar. I've been watching Kelly's Country Living or something down in Florida. That gentleman, I can't remember names or stuff like that, real good guy, and he's been doing solar and doing real good. But a lot of times when he's talking, it's way above my brain grade. So leave me your inputs on the solar. That'd be a good one. And I just broke my pen. Broke the lid. I didn't break the thing. Anyhow, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and leave me a comment down there on your input on solar. Bye-bye.